From the Sky News Centre at 5, 2 ex-British soldiers have been cleared of murdering an official IRA commander in Belfast in 1972. Joe McCann was shot as he tried to evade arrest during the Troubles. The trial of the former paratroopers collapsed after it was decided their historical statements couldn't be used in evidence. In a short statement outside court, Joe McCann's daughter Anya said the system has let families down.
The judge was right when he used the word appalling to describe the failure of the state at all levels in relation to the murder of Joe McCann. The RUC failed, the criminal justice failed.
A jury's heard the former footballer Dalian Atkinson was tasered for 6 times longer than is standard before his death. PC Benjamin Monk, who's accused of his murder 5 years ago, denies the charges against him. The daughter of the murdered police community support officer Julia James will lead a candlelight vigil this evening, a week after her mother's body was found in Accolt Wood near Dover. Police have told locals to keep a charged phone on them when they go out and tell someone where they're going. Tracy, who lives nearby, says she's scared to leave the house.
I think it's a little bit too close. It's very scary. At the moment, we're not walking the dogs. It's too risky. Very scared.
4 new coronavirus deaths and 2,000 new cases have been recorded in the UK. The latest figures show more than 34.6 million people have now received their first dose of a COVID vaccine, with 208,000 jabs delivered in total yesterday. Young people from the UK and India will be allowed to live and work in each other's countries after the Home Secretary signed an agreement with India's Foreign Minister. Professionals aged 18 to 30 will be able to stay in the other nation for up to 2 years. And Britney Spears says 2 recent documentaries about her are hypocritical as they criticise the media and then do the same thing. 2 recent films have looked at the conservatorship the singer is under and her breakdowns that led to it. That's the latest.
This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello there. May the 4th be with you.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yes.
I can yell across the
No, you can't.
I had to yell across the room there.
Hello,
to be
everybody.
fair, it is May the 4th.
It
and our
is.
show has coincided on a brilliant
Exactly.
day.
It's almost like I planned it. Hello, everybody. It is Revive FM. It is Tuesday, so you know what that means. Yes, it is time for Scott and Hutch. I am, of course, the Jedi Knight that is Tom Hutchinson. He is the Sith Lord.
Henry Scott. What was I, the Sith Lord?
I don't know why. It was, I thought.
Well, I am apparently now part of the dark side. Welcome to Scott and Hutch. As I said, I'm Scott and he's...
Okay,
well, he's good. He's good. That's nice to hear.
Dark side of the presenting skills.
Anyway,
Yes.
It is a beautiful, windy... It's not a beautiful day. It's been horrific weather.
I won't lie. I think
think
we've had everything in the last sort of couple of minutes, really. I mean, even just leave. I left at 4 o'clock today.
You'd think we'd have all 50, 100 seasons.
I know, it's gone from raining sideways to then sort of, it
windy
was like
as hell.
Boiling hot in the car. And then I got out and it started to rain again.
When I was
thought you were
walking
joking.
along the high road to come into the studio today, I thought it was summer again.
I know.
The sun was out. I was like, oh, this is nice. And then big gust of wind comes through and I'm just suddenly like, oh, I hate this. But do you know what? We have to congratulate everyone in Britain today.
Yes.
Especially residents in Newham who have been braving the cold, wet and rain and still eating outdoors,
Oh, yes.
which there have been many brilliant photos.
I know. Have you seen there's the one of, is it people in ponchos and they're all hung over a table?
And they got people all holding up umbrellas. To you,
we salute you.
People of Britain, pub goers and all alike, we salute you. We should play the British national anthem at this point.
We should do, but I mean, let's be honest, this one sounds just as good. It's raining.
Do you know that was my GCSE music piece?
Was it really?
They put that in the GCSE music syllabus.
Oh, wow.
That's
Amazing.
how young I am. Is that I only did GCSEs 3 years ago.
And he's done a song from 40 odd years ago.
Do you know what? It's quite convenient that last year I'd be at uni now. I'm so glad that happened. I'm doing an extra year of A levels. I'm very pleased to be here. It's just quite nice.
Yeah,
it's worked out well.
It has actually. Here, this is for all of you braving the pub today and braving the outdoors.
We do have to congratulate you for being the very best of British.
Exactly.
The people who are supporting your local businesses.
Exactly. Keeping Britain moving and keeping this economy afloat.
Getting everyone back outdoors, enjoying themselves, socialising again.
Whilst socially distancing, of course. And also,
Wink, wink.
have you heard the new news? Queenie's got a new side hustle.
What?
So.
Oh, she's a patron of. Let's stop this. She's a patron of.
You can't stop the national anthem.
Okay, that's true. We've got to finish it. Are we allowed to? Is there some sort of Ofcom rule that says we can't? Let's hope not.
I mean, if there is,
But pub goers, we salute you.
We salute
Keep
you.
going to your local pub
Exactly.
and enjoy the cold weather while it lasts, because soon it will be indoors and you won't have to anymore.
Exactly.
And these will be some of the best days of your lives. So.
And speaking from experience, please tip your waiter or waitress, because let's be honest, they need it right.
Yes, they do need
especially,
it right now.
especially after my pub had a table and chairs.
Do you know what? Funnily enough, by thinking about pubs, this ties into a great bit of the show I want to talk to later. And I want to talk about the economy because it's been something I've been thinking a lot about. Okay. Because I think personally, no, I'm not scaremonger or anything, but like we could be in very dire straits soon. But
I was just going to play money for nothing.
oh yeah, no, that's not how it works.
Oh.
Nothing's ever for nothing, Tom. But anyway, sorry, the Queen has some new news.
Yes, so the Queen has started her own beer.
Huh?
Yeah, Queenie has started her own beer. It's called Sandringham, and
I really want to drink it.
It's grown by because obviously Prince Philip was not a whiskey man or a wine man. He was a beer drinker. He loved a pint of beer, and it's not coincided with. This has been like a long time in the making, but
I actually, do you know what? It looks delicious.
it does actually, doesn't it? So she, they've announced that there's 2 flavors. All the hops are grown at Sandringham in Norfolk, and
$3.99 a bottle.
Yeah, well, it's it's got to prop up the.
It is the royal brand, of course.
Exactly. So does that mean it's going to have one of those like flying E symbols? You know, like was it the symbol of excellence or something?
No,
like that?
I don't know, but I do know that Love Honey, the sexual
the
aid
the toy
apparatus
business, the adult toy business.
company.
Yeah.
That was the very poor way of saying it. Has actually got has been endorsed by the royal household, which means it's now able to carry the royal logo.
That's the little E with the wings, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you know, Lotus has also been given that as well.
That's pretty cool.
It's like the Queen's. Is it like Enterprise Award or something like that? There's some sort of. It's got a certain type of name, but I remember that. Lotus had that in 2012. So I mean that's putting many images in my head right now. I mean, I suppose it's on the long cold nights where Meghan and Harry are not there and there's nothing else to do, and all of a sudden it's just
All right, Tom.
I say, look at these bulldog clips they've given me. They're not bulldog clips, Nan.
Oh, all right, okay.
Anyway, yeah. So basically, what we've just found out in the first 7 minutes of this show is that the Queen has got
Here we go. Sorry,
Queen's got her own beer and also endorses Love Honey.
So
Fantastic.
sexual wellness. Let's call it a sexual wellness company. Love Honey gets the royal seal of approval from the Queen, so she's won the Queen's Award for Enterprise. So that's actually like very, very good news. It shows that we're in the 21st century, etc.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of they're sort of moving with the times a little bit. I mean, I'll be brutally honest with you, it will be quite interesting to actually hear this blaring out at Buckingham Palace.
All right, Tom. All right, okay. Oh no,
Philip.
Okay, no, stop, man, stop. Anyway, here we go.
Hello, Camilla.
Love Honey's chief commercial officer said, "We're thrilled to have received official recognition from the Queen. Her Majesty has been a wonderful supporter of Love Honey as we've grown into being the world's leading sexual wellness brand. Royal patronage will help us create more jobs at our Bath headquarters and in international offices and spread sexual happiness message globally. The Queen is the UK's greatest trade ambassador, and royal approval shows again how mainstream shoppers and retail outlets are embracing sexual wellness products as never before and appreciating their importance in improving overall well-being, a particularly important message as we come out of lockdown after a stressful year living with the pandemic." So the Queen's Awards are given out every April, and other recipients on the 21 list include gym equipment companies, science and chemical firms, an innovative physiotherapy company that works with disabled children as a part of a pop-up facility.
Interesting.
So congratulations to them, but I am looking forward to trying 2 of the Sandringham beers.
Yeah, they do look quite good. I mean, they look like they're kind of like Newcastle brown ale bottles, but with.
Do you know what though? The head of the foam on top just didn't look too bad. I don't know if anyone else saw this week, but somebody photoshopped Matt Hancock with a pint that was just all foam, and it looked disgusting.
It might be one of the ones that I poured. I'm not the best when it comes to it.
Oh no, don't say that. I'm not coming to your pub.
Well, I'm just saying, if you
when you're on the taps,
just it'd be like, if you want to know what it's like drinking a Cloud, then come to the. Actually, I'm not going to say the name.
Don't give it a bad rep, Tom.
Slagged them off enough, but just look for the one with the missing table and chairs in Chigwell. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
I'll tell you what, though, we have actually had a little bit of news. Speaking of sort of enterprises and business, so over the weekend, obviously it's been the bank holiday weekend. There's been the some of the trial events to get things back.
I had a mate who went to some of those, and apparently they were just incredible. Apparently it was the best feeling to get back to normal.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I thought the first day the lineup was just not my scene. It was all like techno and
it was
R&B.
two raves in Liverpool.
And the second day had Blossoms, the Kooks. That's who I was there.
Fantastic.
I would have been there for that if I was in Liverpool. I definitely just wanted to go. And apparently Boris Johnson said after that, apparently the events were so successful and that transmission was so low thanks to the rapid testing that it looks like social distancing measures could be relaxed.
Well, they're talking about it, aren't they? I mean, it's not a definite.
We're getting lots of positive messages from the government, and I'm thinking they're idiots because why would you overpromise and underdeliver, which is what most likely will happen. It's very easy to underpromise and overdeliver. Yeah. It's very hard to overpromise and overdeliver. Yeah. So, don't be an idiot.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the because I sort of got some of the reports on here. So it was a 5,000 capacity building. And then there was a mini.
Tom, it just looked awesome.
I know.
I was so jealous.
Well, it's at Sefton Park in Liverpool. It was done. So
I've been to Sefton Park.
Have you really?
Yeah, it's something else.
Nice.
It's really like.
I saw the big,
amazing.
Well, I saw the big garage that they used. It was like a giant aircraft hangar almost for the concert. But there was this was some of the bits I liked. So when the gates opened at Sefton Park at 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, the first fans came in ripping off their face masks with a sigh of relief, as one put it. At 5:30, before any of the band had started, an already sizable crowd was in front of the stage where a DJ was spinning indie anthems. They weren't just shoulder to shoulder, but on each other's shoulders, arms aloft, cardboard pints flying as the chorus to Common People kicked in, which, let's be honest, is just something.
Is this your writing?
No, this is something I nicked.
I was singing bloody hell, Tom.
But this is the bit I like, and this is how you know that we've been cooped up in lockdown for over a year now. So bear in mind, the doors opened at 4:30. At 5:30, they're already singing out Common People. By 6:30, a girl was being sick on the grass next to a filthy vegan food van in a big top. I mean, keep it classy, San Diego. That's all I can say. Not even 2 hours in.
I think it's. I cannot wait for to be able to do that again.
Yeah,
I can't.
It will be nice. Well, bear in mind, we've also had the Carabao Cup Final. That was a joke. That had 4,000 people there. So that was at Wembley. That was all done really well. And also, as we were coming along, there was the announcement of today's figures. So yesterday we had 1 death.
Yes,
in there.
That was very, very significant.
Today it's been 4. So not bad. All right, it's gone up a little bit. But bear in mind, we were in the
bear in mind, vaccines
20s.
Vaccines aren't 100% successful. There's been 500 known cases where the patients were fully vaccinated and they died. And that. Do remember that your vaccination is not a be all and end all.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee that you're not going to get
what it supposedly does is minimize the death to an acceptable level.
Yeah.
However,
and also minimizes the transmission rate.
Do you know what, Tom? I worry that for a lot of people in Britain, I personally don't think that 4 deaths a day is acceptable from coronavirus, knowing that there are other countries in the world where they've had no one die from coronavirus because they have managed to eliminate it. In countries like New Zealand and Australia, they have had no deaths a day for months.
I mean, they've been super strict,
yes,
but also they've
had
a clear route, haven't they?
When they get their countries completely vaccinated, right? Yeah. And they reopen their borders and international travel starts, they will start to have coronavirus cases.
Yeah.
They will.
But
right?
they'll be prepared for it.
No, but they won't, because they're not going to lock down when they've got everyone vaccinated. The people who die from having been vaccinated will just die, and it'll be a tragedy. But for countries, and here we think, oh, it's 4 deaths a day, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas in New Zealand and Australia, they haven't had deaths, right? They've had none. So when people do start dying from coronavirus, their death toll from coronavirus will be higher once they've vaccinated and reopened their population than it was when they didn't have any vaccines.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people in New Zealand, where previously that's been very unacceptable to even have one person die of coronavirus, how it's going to suddenly be acceptable to have X amount per year like we deal with flu and common cold viruses and pneumonia.
Yeah.
I don't see how it's going to be acceptable to them. Personally, I'd prefer if we eliminated coronavirus from the UK.
I mean, it would be great. I mean, all right, obviously that would potentially be involving another lockdown, but I suppose this is the route that we didn't choose it. But
Well, mate, there were no
the
flu deaths this winter.
Yeah, because everyone was, I suppose because the transmission rate was so low. But
yeah,
also,
because it's not a very transmissible virus in the first place.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just none. It's just so low. And like, why can't we try and eradicate more of these diseases? Is what I have to say.
Yeah, I mean,
there's so many things which we let happen, which, if I'm honest, shouldn't.
I know. I mean, it is a shame. I mean, the only thing I would say is, and it goes to show you how we've sort of changed the last 12 months. I mean, we're looking at 4 new deaths. Well, that's good news. Still 4 deaths. That's still four families that have been torn apart, and it's terrible. But I suppose when you look at compared to what were we having like at Christmas, it was around, or in January, it was about 1,000 deaths, wasn't it? So it's taken just 4.5 months to get down to single digits, which is, you know, it could have been done a lot faster. Don't get me wrong, but I suppose the fact is, either way you look at it, it's coming down now, which is good. So that's the main thing, and we just have to make sure now that we keep doing what we're doing, and we pray that the government is going to actually start getting some sort of handle on this, because obviously we've got the next big thing, and this is what I was listening to on the way down. We're only about 2 weeks away from the potential relaxation on foreign travel. And we still don't know what countries
I personally don't think that we should be reopening travel corridors to anywhere.
Yeah.
When there's the potential to bring back a variant that would be resistant to vaccination.
Yeah.
And
it needs to be stamped out. So I think it's almost like
personally, travel is a terrible idea until we've got this thing under control. And I don't want to go. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to go on holiday. But I don't want to mess up what we've done so far.
Yeah, I mean, the fact
why
is,
should we?
Yeah, we've got, and honestly, and I'm not just saying it as being brand UK or whatever. We've got amazing places in this country where you can actually go. We've got our social distancing in place. We know how to act around people. I've got no issues with sort of holidaying in the UK.
This is why we had all those variants come to the UK last winter. It's because people went abroad, mixed, spread coronavirus, and spread the new variants.
Yeah.
And now we've got more aggressive, more severe, more infectious versions of coronavirus amongst the population.
Yeah. And they've actually
one thing we've got to worry about is, of course, the South African variant, which is resistant to a lot of vaccines.
And it's actually, and I was actually just going to say that, so like you read my mind, to say that they're now doing surge testing in Hounslow, I believe.
Yeah, they were doing it in Redbridge recently.
Yeah, that's been, because they've had, I think it was about four people there were confirmed to have had it. So obviously that can then spread quite quickly.
We're not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting really close, which is, which is great. And it's nice to see that we've kind of got that light at the end of the tunnel now. But, we can't lose our heads now. We've got to just keep at it, and hopefully we can start getting back to normal, ready for summertime. Because I say every week, I want to go see my nan up in Yorkshire. I want to go to the MotoGP in August with my dad. I want to be able to see my family legally at Christmas this year without having to sort of sit on my Jean Todt and do it on my own sort of thing. It's all these things. All right, if I have to forego them, I will do. But I want to go and see them, and I'm sure everyone who's listening wants to do the same. They want to be with their families, and I'm sure you do as well. I know obviously you're living at home, but you want to spend it with with your broader family.
I want to go to New Zealand, mate.
Yeah,
I haven't been to New Zealand in 2.5 years now, and I really do miss my extended family. I really do, and I'd love to see them. And I have put down a deposit, or rather, my dad has kindly put down a deposit for the quarantine.
Yeah,
in the winter.
And
so if I'm lucky, I'll get to go.
And have they got the same? Is theirs 14 days, or is theirs like longer?
14 days.
Okay,
but I mean, this time I'd be at university, so
yeah,
hopefully I'd get to go. I really miss them.
Just make sure you bring loads of stuff to keep you entertained. Or at least do you?
I'll just watch all of Netflix, mate. Don't you worry.
Netflix. Oh, I completed that, mate. In the great words of Joe from In Between Us.
Anyway, I mean, what else? Like we've got lots to talk about.
We have actually, yeah. I mean, we're going to have to go to an ad break in a moment, but
do stay tuned because me and Tom are going to be talking about the new tax rules, which are affecting many of you. I think that'll probably be some good consumer advice, especially for you, Tom, considering you're setting up yourself as a freelancer. So sorry about that, buddy.
Thanks. Thank you,
we're also going to be talking about the state of the economy and how you can protect your money, especially. Again, great consumer advice for you, Tom, considering you've got a new house and all.
I picked a really good time to actually start getting into property now.
Haven't you? Yeah. Listen, do stay tuned. Me and Tom will be right back after these short ads.
See you in a bit.
क्या आपको मालूम है कि नूरा जैसी बच्चियां पानी के लिए रोजाना 3 मील पैदल सफर तय करती हैं? मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन को यकीन है कि आप छोटे और बड़े पैमाने पर पानी के मंसूबे लगाकर इस बहरान को खत्म कर सकते हैं। आपके एहतियात दुनिया भर के पसमानदा लोगों का म्यार जिंदगी बेहतर बना रहे हैं, जबकि अभी बहुत कुछ करना बाकी है। पानी सबके लिए के प्रोजेक्ट में हमारी मदद कीजिए। आज ही अतिया कीजिए या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Everyone can now get free rapid COVID-19 tests twice a week. They show your results within 30 minutes. They also show you're doing what you can to protect your loved ones, your friends, your workmates, and that you want to keep life moving again. Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be a friend, a relative, a workmate. It could even be you. Rapid tests are easy to get from nhs.uk/get tested. Let's take this next step safely.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Now we're gradually coming out of lockdown. We can go to more places, like pubs, restaurants, hairdressers and gyms. However, around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. By quickly checking into venues with the NHS COVID-19 app, you can help stop the virus spreading and protect your family and friends. So whenever you go out, check in. Let's take this next step safely.
Taj Grill invites you to the world of Pakistani cuisine. With every dish prepared to perfection, why not try our sizzling mixed grill, our famous masala fish, or choose from our selection of freshly made curries and allow the Taj Grill experience to speak for itself. Visit us at 72 Ilford Lane or 508 Ilford High Road, or call 0208 262 6476. We also offer catering for all your events. Call us for more information.
Let's connect with the Holy Quran. Minhaj Dawah Project distributes the Holy Quran in plain simple English for free. You can donate £3 and sponsor a Quran to a loved one, a neighbour, a colleague or a friend. We distribute Qurans totally free of charge across the whole UK, including in prisons. Please call us now to contribute on 0300 030 1951 or email us on dawah@minhajuk.org.
Revive FM
94.0 on the radio,
on your mobile
and online.
Hello there, you're listening to Revive FM 94.0. It's Tuesday, that means it is Scott and Hutch. My name is Tom Hutchinson. Joining me in the studio is my amazing co-host
Henry Scott.
There he is, yes. So we were we were just teasing before the break about the new HMRC rules which are coming in, and by the looks of it, I'm going to be screwed.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, you've not done this, so you'll be fine. But basically, the government is changing the rules. A lot of people, freelancers, especially a lot of teachers at my school, from what I've heard, love to set themselves up as the sole shareholder in a limited company. And basically, what the new rules will mean is that you're just not able to, unless you're of a certain size, unless you deal with certain.
I suppose it's the government's cottoning onto it now, aren't they?
Well, they're trying to close tax loopholes. Essentially, people want you to pay your fair share, and I think personally, it's a good thing. The government needs tax revenue right now. I think the government should be getting more in corporation tax from big companies like Amazon.
Exactly.
My economics teacher was telling me today that last year of 2020, the tax year is 2020 from April to this April, from last April to this April, the Amazon made 44 billion in sales income. Staggering amounts of money, more than some countries'
because we've been in lockdown, so they've been
exactly, and they've had a massive cash boost. However, like this, they paid zero corporation tax because the Luxembourg unit, which is where Amazon in Europe is based, made a 1.2 billion pound loss. So therefore, it doesn't pay any corporation tax because you only pay tax on profit. So, I mean, you've got to think about it. It's time for the governments around the world to close these loopholes.
But this is the thing.
And it can't just happen in our country because they'll just bugger off to somewhere else.
Which obviously we're trying to encourage people to come into the country.
We are trying to encourage. Britain is built on foreign investment. And that is why Joe Biden is seeking for a global corporation tax rate, trying to get rid of the little tax havens like Cayman Islands, Bermuda, Jersey, Ireland, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be put it this way, and I'm not just saying this because of my situation, but I truly feel like if if we are trying to sort of encourage business and trying to get people in, like you say, go for the big companies, the ones that are making a turnover of a couple of billion every year. Don't just go for little independent sole traders or small companies, because what's that going to do? It's going to stop people from actually wanting to venture out and make a new business. I mean, I'm in two minds at the minute whether do I start up like a little limited company or not to protect not only my assets, like my house that I live in and my money, but also because I'm doing it for the future. I've basically decided, I mean, I've told you anyway that my plan is, and I'm not that technically minded when it comes to these sorts of things, but if I can get a couple of houses by the time I'm 40, 50 odd, that'd be great. When it comes time to retire, I can sell them off, live off the money off of that. Obviously, minus my capital gains tax or my corporation tax if I do a business or anything like that. And then when I pop my clogs and I have no need of money because I'm going to be 6 feet under, my family will then get that, whether it's with a partner or my children or just my family and friends in general. So that's kind of my plan. And then just to be a little bit more comfortable, because I'll be honest with you, I don't want to work in an office again. I hated it the last time, but I'm not making enough money off of tips at a pub. I got £4 in tips last week.
Do you know what I found out the other week is that one of my former co-workers was in the Daily Mail for having stolen cash from the tills and their colleagues' tips. And I always wondered where all my tip money went.
Really?
And surprise, surprise.
In their pocket.
She was nicking the tip money. So thanks for that.
That's a joke, that. Do you know what? Actually, that happened to me once in Sainsbury's, not for tips, but there was a girl that I worked with and she was stealing, this shows you how old this is, she was stealing phone top-ups. So she would quickly scan something through and then at the last minute, because with I don't know what it's like nowadays with Sainsbury's, probably updated their systems because this was like 2009. You pressed a button and then it was like top-ups on the screen and then you have O2, Orange, Vodafone 3, T-Mobile, Vodafone, all the networks of the day. And you click it and you just put in how much you wanted. And then what would happen is the till, the top up would come out as a separate voucher, and she would nick all those and then sell them on, or she'd keep them for herself. And she got rumbled, and I think she stole out of, obviously because then she's charging people on top of their bill.
Yeah.
I think she stole about £200 worth.
Wow.
And then tried to sort of come back and say, that I'm stressed, I'm this, I'm that, and
sure. It's all when your suits you, isn't it? Anyway. Moving on from tax changes, I think it's probably a good time to talk about the economy as a wider whole, because you mentioned you're back at the pub. Now, Tom, has your pub raised its prices of a pint?
Do you know what? I'll be honest. We did in the first lockdown. I don't think we have in this lockdown, but I think some of the food has been going up a little bit, obviously, because we're struggling to get suppliers at the minute. So we're kind of a bit
is that because of the EU?
Yeah, we've got a very reduced menu, but also because the fact that we don't want to overorder loads of stuff, because where we can only serve outside at the minute, we did until yesterday, until someone nicked it. We've got about 12 tables, and only, I don't know, I think we've got 10, we've got 15 tables, but 10 are covered. So the rest are like brollies, umbrellas. Otherwise, you come in with a bobble hat and a scarf and you take your chances. But so we're really struggling at the minute, but we're kind of getting stuff in. It's just at a reduced menu. But yeah, I can't say we've put the prices up at the minute.
Well, because I was at the pub the other week, and being, I'm very interested in economics, and I told my economics teacher about this. Sorry, I've had a lesson today, so I'm all about it. But the interesting thing I thought, mate, was that apparently there's a pub chain called McMullen's, right? And they've got a pub in Loughton called the Holly Bush, and I was up there with a couple of mates, and I asked them, so have you raised the prices of your pints? And they said, after each lockdown, we've raised the price by 5%. And I'm thinking, right, 5%. This pint was £5, and I'm in Loughton.
Yeah.
And I went out to central London to dinner the other week, and the price of a double gin and tonic, usually, because that's my drink of choice, tends to be usually like 10 or something like that. And I saw when it was 15 quid. Right, at this pub I regularly went to, and I thought, right, well, never mind. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, I understand a double gin and tonic for 10 quid is very expensive, but £15, that takes the cake.
Yeah.
My income's not gone up, right? A lot of people's incomes have actually gone down.
Or frozen.
Well, actually, everyone's operating on 80% of their wage.
That's true.
If your employer's not paying the other 20%, which is legally not obliged to do, then, you have less income in real terms because the price of things have obviously gone up. I don't imagine if you're on a very low wage that you're buying double gin and tonics in central London, but nonetheless,
no. I mean, it's put it this
nonetheless,
way,
like food bank use has trebled, but people's incomes have fallen.
Yeah,
and I think. And do you know what's starting to get very worrying, Tom, is there's all this talk and speculation about inflation exceeding normal levels in the UK.
Yeah.
The government and probably everyone at the Bank of England is praying for their dear lives at the end of every night. Can we please just no inflation?
Yeah.
Because if interest rates spike, you've got people who are, living on the line, and they can't afford to, in some cases, they can't afford to feed their children properly.
Yeah.
Or we have relative poverty in the UK, families in that situation, which are spending so much money on their mortgages. If inflation spikes, the Bank of England will raise interest rates, and we will see a massive housing crash because suddenly
and that's another thing
people will default on their loans. So many people, hundreds of thousands, millions of people are very much on the line when it comes to paying for their mortgages. It's hard enough as it is without your mortgage being a variable rate and suddenly going up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm terrified.
Yeah. I mean, it is a real worry. And I suppose this is the sort of the things that Rishi was trying to talk about in the budget, that he's trying not to make that happen, but some of it is out of his control. I mean, I think not the economy itself, but I think Britain as a whole is on a knife edge a minute. Yeah, we're being encouraged to go out and spend and go to the pubs and go out shopping, which by the looks of it, we've been doing the last few months, because people have been saving their money where they're not having to commute to places or, spend as much on food and clothing. But it can only last for so long, really, before that bubble bursts, as we sort of proved back in 2009 with the global financial crisis then. So it's a bit of a catch-22, really, isn't it? If you think about it. So I'm not quite sure how we get out of it, really, because it's kind of, again, you can spend all the money you want, but then when that money runs out and it's not being replenished in the same way, I mean, like, take for example, last week I got £186 for working at the pub, and I've got a few more hours coming this week. Yeah, I have a few more hours coming in this week, but then I'm back to doing 14 hours this week. I can't survive on that. You know, I mean, my food bill alone comes to about 50, 60 quid. And, you know, and now I've got more sort of outlays. I mean, this is going to be definition of first world problem. I've got more outlays for, you know, the second property and trying to get that off the ground, you know, legal fees. I've got ground rents to pay. Oh, not ground rent, sorry, but I've got like fees to pay for that. And until I get someone in the property,
you know, no one's living there.
Yeah, it's sitting there, so I've got to pay to have gas and electric in for a property that's not going to be needed. So that no one's living in it at the minute. So it's a bit, it's a little bit.
Well, the thing is, you find yourself in a financial situation that a lot of people in Britain arguably find themselves in. You know, here's what I find gross, mate. Net household wealth in the UK during 2020 rose by 11.4 trillion pounds.
Wow.
A staggering amount of money in terms of asset wealth, right?
Yeah.
11.4 trillion pounds. And do you know who that money went to?
Let me guess. It wasn't our favorite person.
It was all the richest people. You know, whoever
the
owns,
people who've been buying,
whoever owns a house,
Yeah.
whoever owns multiple properties, you know, big corporations who own lots of assets. Anyone who has asset wealth, which tends to be billionaires, you know, once you get past a certain threshold, your wealth tends to be made up of assets as opposed to things, and that is why I think it's personally quite disgusting that the way our economic system is geared towards people with assets. You know, house prices, the stamp duty holidays knocked up house prices. You know, all very well and good for people who have houses, but terrible for my generation, especially when our wages aren't going up, mate.
We'll put it this way. I mean, like, because everyone says to me, because my dad had the best strapline for me. He said, "You are asset rich, but you are liquid poor."
Yes,
like as in, you know, I have no physical money per se, but I had this giant house. I only got that house because my mum passed away and left it to me, and before that, you know, members of her family passed away. Her mum passed away. Her brother passed away. They left the money. We got that house with it, or she got that house with it and put me on the deed. That's how I got it. I got it all through circumstance. So I'm not complaining. I'm happy, but there are, when everyone sort of looks at you and goes, "Oh, you got your own house and you're buying a second one." Yeah, I'm buying a second one because I can't survive on a pub job, and I haven't really got the skills or the qualifications really to do much else apart from that and customer service jobs and typing. So that's kind of the other thing I can do, unless, you know, I move on and make this a full-time career on the radio and go, you know, full on Tony Blackburn, sensational. But yeah, it is a bit of a worry, but we'd love to get your views on this as well, obviously, because you know, in case you
seriously, we're a call-in show. Bring us in.
Exactly. So we are 0333 444 0940. That is 0333 444 0940. You can WhatsApp us on that number as well if you don't want to come on the air live. You can also comment on our Facebook and YouTube streams by searching for Revive FM UK, and we will see your comments on our little notice board down here. But yeah, I mean, I think, like you say, it was geared up towards getting the housing market going. That was kind of their main hedge bet, wasn't it? But this is the funny thing. So I had two valuations on my property, mortgage valuations, because the first one fell through, and within the space of probably about 2 months, it had gone up by, what was it? I think it went up by £30,000 in 2 months.
Crazy.
Which was just, and it was like, I think it was different mortgage brokers, but it was definitely two different guys who came out. But it was just so odd that within 2 months the price had shot up by 30 grand. I mean, that's an annual wage. But and this goes back to the joke that I said last week, that bearing in mind we are kind of teetering on the edge of recession. We are technically in a recession, but it keeps going back up every time we come out of lockdown. But the funny thing is the amount of people that are buying, like in Chigwell, new Aston Martins. I mean, I like I said, the week before I left, I saw 3 brand new DB11s with a 70 license plate on them. And I looked and thought, yep, this is the time when we've got no money. But yes, you know, Lawrence Stroll is doing really well for himself at the minute because there's 3 Aston Martins have just driven past. And I saw another one. I saw that DBX 4x4 as I was coming along today. And I was like, really? We got no money, but you can afford to buy yourself a 4x4 Aston Martin. And the only off-roading it's going to do is when it mounts a curb. That'll be it. It's just, you know, it is a worry. But I tell you what, I've actually got another story because we're going to have to go to the ad breaks, man. I've got another story about business. Loosely based, I won't lie, but you will like it. when we come back. And,
well, we love a bit of gossip, don't we?
Oh, it's more than gossip, my friend. It's more than gossip. You will enjoy it. But
hit me. Not literally.
Well, not literally, because we're 2 meters apart. Anyway, stay right there. We will be right back.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
Looking to get your finances in order? MR Accountants has you covered. We provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping, and payroll services. We ensure you're kept up to date with the latest legislation, and our client-focused approach helps us plan your business finances from savings to investments. We are MR Accountants. Visit our website at mraccountants.com or call us on 0203 432 9138.
Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your giving saves lives. Your support has provided more than 3 million people with access to clean and safe water, emergency relief in natural disaster and crisis-affected areas around the world, supported orphans and needy children with a better future. This year, your help can do more. Donate your zakat, sadaqah, and charitable donations to any of your chosen projects. Call us now, 0300 30 30 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam, including Tajweed, Fiqh, Seerah, and Aqidah, we endeavour to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals, and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrolment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Romford Road, or email admin.edu_London@minhajuk.org.
Nitro Treats, the dessert lab where your treats are formulated before your very eyes. Keep cool with our flavoured shaved ice, or chill out with our exclusive Dragon Breath Nitro ice creams. Experiment with our selection of mojitos, or indulge in our traditional faludas or lassies. Visit Nitro Treats at 210 Ilford Lane, where our nitrologists remain ready to serve. Nitro Treats, it's nitrolicious.
Everyone can now get free rapid COVID-19 tests twice a week. They show your results within 30 minutes. They also show you're doing what you can to protect your loved ones, your friends, your workmates, and that you want to keep life moving again. Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be a friend, a relative, a workmate. It could even be you. Rapid tests are easy to get from nhs.uk/get tested. Let's take this next step safely.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Revive FM. It is Tuesday. It is Scott and Hutch. My name is Tom Hutchinson, which must, by the process of elimination, my dear, what's it make him?
Boris Johnson.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bojo, it's so nice to have you here in the thing. How's the old flat coming there with
Oh,
Carrie?
well, you know,
pick the drapes
more
yet?
wallpaper and etc. We've got to talk about that.
Oh yes, we have to. We've got let's
do it next. You said you had a business story.
Well, this is only a little bit of a business story, all right?
Oh, no, go for it.
We'll
Business.
do this, and then we'll go on to Boris. So, you know, we were talking about sort of little businesses and how HMRC is going to change things. Well, it's probably not going to affect these guys too much. So, basically, a suspected there we go. Let's get that going. I'll just restart this for you because people will get it. So a suspected,
it's Breaking Bad.
Yep, a suspected meth lab has been uncovered during a police raid in the UK.
That's good.
So it's got a large scale operation was found in outbuildings near Redditch in Worcestershire.
Ooh.
The investigation began after text messages were obtained by French police during the penetration of the encrypted phone network Nitro Chat last year. Vats and sacks of ingredients were found in the lab, which is currently too hazardous for the police to enter. 5 people have been arrested in a joint operation between the National Crime Agency and Warwickshire Police on Tuesday last week. Firefighters and chemical experts were drafted in to assist with the raid, and footage of the inside of the building has been sent to scientific experts for analysis. So, basically, we've kind of got Breaking Bad UK in Warwickshire, of all places.
Brilliant.
I mean, you can just imagine, just say my name. It's just like, of all the things to do, someone has literally watched Breaking Bad.
You're Eisenberg, you are.
Yeah, you know what? I won't like you. I put on this hat, and
Do you know what? I don't think. I think the reason they did Breaking Bad in the US is because I don't think like anything like that would work well in the UK, because the UK is just not big enough.
No, it's also we haven't got the climate for it. We haven't got the properties for it. Well, obviously we do have the properties for it now, but like, it's also obviously, all right, that show is fictional. We know that, but when it's set out in New Mexico, which is primarily desert with, Albuquerque and other little towns sort of nestled in it, you've got all that space to be doing those sorts of things. And obviously the Breaking Bad one it's hyped up because normally it's people doing it with Sudafed and stuff like that. I mean, not that I know.
Yeah, because the problem is, right, the most exciting thing that happens on a Breaking Bad level is when, recently a seagull was bludgeoned to death with a 6-foot metal pole by a Scottish pensioner after a bird stole bread from swans.
I mean, say Scotland, just say no more.
Yeah, I mean, I was also thinking, that's just Scotland.
You say a Scottish pole, it's probably a claymore. Don't take my chips! You dirty flying lizard!
Apparently this couple, were horrified because apparently he was feeding breads to swans, and apparently the seagull started eating it. And apparently the bloke, he says, my bread is just for the swans. So the couple who wished to remain anonymous told the Daily Record that they scooped the injured bird out and rushed it to a wildlife rescue centre, and the bird passed away. But I mean,
I've just got this.
It's a pretty nasty thing to happen, but.
The man was taken in for questioning and said, and I
quote... No, they have not caught him. They've not caught him.
Can you imagine, though, when he gets questioned, he's just going to be going there, they can take away my bread, but they'll never take away my freedom.
But even then, right, it's illegal to harm animals in that way.
Exactly,
so,
yeah. I mean, can you imagine if it was a swan? Because obviously swans are protected. Well, they're protecting it in England. I don't know if they're protected.
Cool story, man. Okay, so this week, speaking of swans and protected birds.
Swans!
Basically, my dad works in Hyde Park, and occasionally, and we've done this a couple of times, some of the eggs get abandoned, or, you get a couple of the little birds which are abandoned by their parents, and they're just left wandering around. They get scooped up and taken to the wildlife centre. And he was working, and one of the wildlife officers said, listen, we've got a goose egg that's just been abandoned. You've hatched previous animals. Would you like to hatch a goose egg? So we're currently in my sister's room in an incubator is a goose egg that is being incubated to hatch, and apparently if it works, it'll be hatched within a month.
Amazing! So you could have like a little goose just running around.
Mate, I've always wanted a pet goose.
I mean,
I've always wanted a pet goose. How cool would a pet goose be?
You know, it'd be even more cool if it started laying golden eggs. I mean, you'd be set, wouldn't you?
Oh goodness, Tom! These are the kind of things that we all just wish we could have at the minute, isn't it?
I know. We want to.
I would love just infinite money. This is actually a great question, right? Speaking of money. If you had infinite money, Tom, what would you do? Like, what would be the first things that you would do?
Do you know what? Genuinely,
you've got infinite money.
Well, bearing in mind, I actually had at one point a comfortable sum of money. Obviously, when my mum passed away, it didn't bring me happiness. Genuinely, it did not. So I would quite happily set up some, if it was infinite, set up some bank accounts for my little cousins, because I don't have any children of my own, and just make sure they've got enough for, and then it matures, and then when they're older, they've got some money. I'd just give money to my family, my friends, like yourself as well, obviously, mate, like cover your tuition fees and everything like that.
Really?
Of course I would.
Man.
Of course I would.
That's so nice.
Why wouldn't I? Like, I'm not going to sit, you know, you're sitting there, you're like, well, I've got infinite money. By the way, how's that £30,000 bill for your tuition fees getting there, mate? Of course I'd be paying it. Genuinely.
Pretty cool.
But,
by the way, I'm considering, we're talking like $1 billion here. Like,
oh, it's $1 billion.
We'll when I say infinite, because £1 billion might as well be an infinite amount of money, in my opinion.
I don't know about now, though. I mean, 30 grand out of $1 billion. I mean, I'd have to like, the interest alone.
But do you know what? Do you know what's insane is that, like, I was thinking about this, right? You get the super rich people.
Yeah.
Imagine this, right?
Oh, you
put £5 on, like, stock or something like that, or you bet £5.
Yeah.
Let's say you get back, odds are 2 to 1. You get to back double your money. It's so much easier to make more money the richer you are, because a billionaire can put down 100,000 or 1 million, and it's sort of like, oh, that's just a tenth, or no, that's a hundredth, or a thousandth of his wealth. If he loses that £1 million, it's like,
he can make that back.
Oh well, I can make that back, or I've got, like, 1,000 more of them. A billion is 1,000 million, and Jeff Bezos has 88,000 million, right? So it's an 88th of his wealth.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Gates is flying.
No, an 88,000th of his wealth.
Yeah,
right. So I was thinking about this. Once you get past a certain point, you just can't. It will be impossible to sort of squander the wealth unless you just give it away to charity.
Well, people like Jeff Bezos can live off the interest alone.
Yeah,
like
for the rest of his life.
Yeah, they don't have to touch that money. I mean, Bill Gates, for example, is going to be paying quite a lot of interest.
Even 0.01%.
Yeah, because he's getting divorced, isn't he? Bill Gates, and have you heard? There's no prenup.
Oh,
so that's gonna
Bill
cost
Gates
him.
is not going to be the richest man in the world anymore.
No, definitely not. I mean,
do you know what? That's so strange, because how old is Bill Gates? He's not in his 80s, isn't he?
Oh, he's not that old. He's about I think he's about 60. Hang on, let's have a look. Hang on, if I check it.
I've always been interested, because I always think Bill Gates is much older than he is.
Isn't
Oh, he's 65.
Oh, there you go. So he can retire now,
So
basically.
Well, I mean, but he's never going to. But do you know what? I thought he was in his 80s. Oh well, never mind. But put it this way, right? Bill Gates is going to live like another 20 years. He's got a net worth of 130 billion.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
he's not going to be the richest man in the world anymore.
Well, put it this way.
But why? Why are they getting divorced? After 27 years?
They haven't said. They don't think it's fidelity issues or anything like that. So they don't think that either one of them is cheated. They basically just said that it's over.
Maybe they just don't.
Maybe they've just grown apart. I mean, they've been together for 27, 28 years, I think. I mean, in celebrity marriage terms, I mean, that's like generations.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame because obviously, but I think they're still doing their charity work together. So it could be, I mean, but do you know the other one I always find interesting is The Rock. Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
So he divorced his wife, Danny Garcia, who is also his business partner, works with him on $7 Productions, which is his production company.
Yeah.
When Vince McMahon tried to bring back the XFL for a second time and coronavirus hit and it failed and he had to sell it because it went bankrupt again, The Rock bought it. Danny Garcia bought it as well because obviously she's the business partner. She now runs that. And they said that they get on so well. They're like best friends. And they just said that sometimes it just feels better just to be best friends. I mean, he always calls her his sexy
that's maturity.
Yeah.
That's maturity.
Yeah. And the fact that, they have a daughter anyway who's now training to be a WWE wrestler. So, I mean, blimey, that's going to make me feel even more old. And, he's now got, I think he got married again and he's now got 2 daughters with his new wife. So it could just be the fact, like you say, they're just not, they've just grown apart or they just want to call it a day. But, it is a shame. But, I mean, that's going to come really interesting when it comes time to dividing up the assets, especially if there's no prenup.
One of the saddest things, I think I have to admit, which a lot of people made a lot of fun about, but I thought it wasn't really a joking matter, was that, I thought that Scott McKenzie Jeff Bezos' wife, became the richest woman in the world through divorce. A lot of people took the mickey out of that. I was just like, oh,
yeah, going like, oh, well,
chill, man.
she's landed on her feet and all that sort of thing. Well, I mean, the fact is, it's still a divorce. It's still the end of a marriage. So regardless of whatever happens, regardless of, all right, if she gets, I mean, she probably had her own money to start with. I mean, I doubt that she was like, you know, working minimum wage and all of a sudden she's married Jeff Bezos.
No. They got married together in like before Amazon was a thing.
Yeah. So like back when Amazon was still a rainforest, but the you know, she's probably got her own business ventures, not just the fact that. And I think she's going to donate most of that money anyway. But it's always the way, though. They always do these sorts of things, don't they? It was like when Paul McCartney and Heather Mills split up, and obviously there was no prenup there because he was like, "Oh, you know, I'm Paul McCartney. All right, I don't need a prenup, you know." And I don't know. He sounds from Birmingham for. I have no idea. But you know, and she got half his money, and people absolutely hated her. I mean, she was like the 21st century version of Yoko Ono. Like everybody slated her, going, "Oh well, Lady Mucker's done all right for herself." They got divorced.
Yeah,
it happens. Move on, you know. But anyway, I tell you what we are going to do. We are not going to divorce from our lovely advertisers because we're going to go to the adverts and then we're going to be back for the second hour of our show. So stay tuned. We'll see you in a bit.
Nitro Treats, the dessert lab where your treats are formulated before your very eyes. Keep cool with our flavoured shaved ice or chill out with our exclusive Dragon Breath Nitro ice creams. Experiment with our selection of mojitos or indulge in our traditional faludas or lassies. Visit Nitro Treats at 210 Ilford Lane where our nitrologists remain ready to serve. Nitro Treats, it's nitrolicious.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a very young age. She lives with her mother and siblings. There are millions like Aisha who do not have access to the very basics of life, resulting in her and many others not being able to attend school. Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your charity is dedicated towards supporting the full needs of orphans and needy children around the world. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 3030 777. Or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Everyone can now get free rapid COVID-19 tests twice a week. They show your results within 30 minutes. They also show you're doing what you can to protect your loved ones, your friends, your workmates, and that you want to keep life moving again. Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be a friend, a relative, a workmate. It could even be you. Rapid tests are easy to get from nhs.uk/get tested. Let's take this next step safely.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 521 0000 and take advantage of our huge Ramadan offers. Waris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no-obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
The Career Link Project is a free employment and careers service aimed at supporting young BAME women to navigate a path towards a successful future. If you're 16 or over and currently out of work, you could receive up to 10 months of personalised one-on-one career support and skills-based training to help you secure your future. Get in touch with us today on 07862 035 511 or email us at clp@tffn.co.uk. The Career Link Project, your future in your hands.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
قد سمعنا وأطعنا وعلى الحق اجتمعنا قد سمعنا.
This is
Revive FM
94.0 with the latest news from around the world.
From the Sky News Centre at 6, the trial of 2 former British soldiers accused of murdering IRA Commander Joe McCann in 1972 has collapsed. The judge at Belfast Crown Court formally acquitted them after prosecutors offered no further evidence. That followed a decision not to consider historical statements from the ex-paratroopers about the shooting during the Troubles. The McCann family lawyer, Niall Murphy, says their fight isn't over.
This ruling does not mean that Joe McCann was not murdered by the British Army. This trial has heard very clear evidence that Joe McCann was murdered by the British Army. He was shot in the back whilst unarmed.
A jury's heard a police officer accused of murdering former Aston Villa footballer Dalian Atkinson shot him with a taser for 33 seconds, 6 times longer than recommended. PC Benjamin Monk denies murder and manslaughter. Mexico's president is promising to find out what caused a metro overpass to collapse in the country's capital city, killing at least 23 people, including children. Pictures show 2 carriages hanging above a busy road. TV Azteca reporter Hugo Vela says it's a devastating situation.
This is the newest line in the subway system in Mexico City. It has never happened before. However, right now, cranes are working to remove the rubble. We've seen bodies coming out. People are still looking for survivors.
A man's been fined nearly £200 for using a fake negative COVID test certificate to board a flight to Egypt. Officials found the document when the 27-year-old was stopped at Heathrow last month. In football, with many fans unhappy following the failed European Super League idea, Chelsea say supporters will be represented at board meetings in future. 3 so-called advisors will be elected to ensure the feelings of supporters are heard in decisions being taken. And the Duchess of Sussex has written a children's book. The Bench is inspired by Meghan's husband, Prince Harry, and their son, Archie, who turns 2 on Thursday. That's the latest.
This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello, you're listening to Revive FM. My name is Henry Scott, which means that, as you said earlier, by the process of elimination, that means my co-host is...
Rishi.
Okay, Rishi. It's Tom Hutchinson,
yes,
everyone.
It's me, everybody.
Welcome to Scott and Hutch. You're listening to Scott and Hutch. I'm Scott and he's Hutch. And welcome. Yes. Basically, me and Tom love to obviously talk about, the whole. We don't just talk about many things, but the whole gist of our show is for the purposes of making your day brighter and keeping you informed.
Yes.
So I think probably the spiel for me and Tom's show would be that we tell you the news, but we tell it in a funny, jokey, and uplifting manner.
Exactly. We have the gear and give you some idea. That's kind of what we do.
That is a brilliant slogan. Let's track that in our new jingle. But for now,
On FM,
on YouTube,
Facebook,
under your bed,
in your closet,
and we're hiding in your fridge.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson bring you the news
on Revive FM.
Yep, nice. That's right. You know what? I think we could probably do a condensed version of that, but that is just, I'm sorry, I'm really proud of myself.
It's still that, you should be, mate. It should be. It is still that bit of the hiding under your bed is still tickles me every week.
It is a little bit weird, isn't it?
I'm hiding under the bed to give you the news. Have you heard about what's going on in South America at the moment?
Okay, well, we're not here to talk about South America. We're here to talk about the local elections coming up.
Yes, I was going to mention
this week.
2 days' time.
Thursday, the 6th of May. Yeah. If you're not registered to vote, it's a bit late now, but you should have registered to vote, like me and Tom have been telling you. And if you are registered to vote, please go out and vote.
I need to get my polling card
change. Well, it's weird.
I've got my polling card.
I got my polling card, but the problem is that it's still registered for
your old address.
Epping Forest. Yeah, they never give me. They haven't given me a new one.
Vote there. Yeah,
could do. Yeah, I've still got it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
I'm voting for somewhere now that I don't live, so it doesn't really.
It's very, very important that you do go out and vote because
you can't kick off afterwards.
Yeah, you're not allowed to get annoyed. I think it should be like an actual law saying if you don't vote in an election, you can't talk about politics.
Oh, hang on, you're going V for Vendetta here, sort of thing. Like,
no. But like seriously, I hate people that complain about politics and local politics in their local area. Like, oh, the roads are terrible. It's like, well, did you vote the last election?
No.
Oh, well, no, actually. Well, then, like, you don't really have a right, do you?
True, it's
true.
true.
If you know what's disgusting about local elections? Turnout's like 35%.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
I know. Yeah, but in fairness, though, I mean, when you see some of the other uptake is not good on elections anyway. I mean,
like general elections tend to do not bad, but
I think it's because they think that that's going to sort of contribute more to how their areas are run. It's not really, because all that happens with a general election, is a government will get in. And then your local constituency, so for example, me now it's Brentwood, for you it's Epping Forest. They're going, excuse me, Prime Minister, can we have some money for roadworks and for buses and chip shops and local businesses? And all of a sudden it's like, what's that? Sorry, we can't hear you all the way from up here in Parliament. That's why your local elections should take priority in your mind, because these people allegedly are fighting for you. They are fighting to make sure that you get heard in Parliament. So it's not you're voting for your mouthpieces to make your area different. So don't just vote for the general elections, because they've got to deal with everything. You focus on your constituency, your borough. And that's me being forceful. Good night, everybody.
No, but seriously, that's the thing, is that a lot of people like to blame their MPs for local infrastructure. It's just not how it works in Britain, right? Your local services are not determined by who is your MP. It's determined by your local council.
Yeah.
So go out and vote. It looks to be like, I think for some reason that's really important is the Hartlepool by-election.
Yeah, I've heard about this. Was it won by the Tories?
Sorry, Hartlepool by-election.
Hartlepool. Yeah, make sure you get it right.
No, it's this Thursday. It's this Thursday.
Oh, sorry, I don't know why. I thought that it already happened. I saw something this morning when I woke up. It was saying about Boris adding another blue brick into a red wall or something.
Well, yeah, apparently, basically, it looks to be that Hartlepool is going to become a Conservative constituency for the first time ever.
Oh, wow.
Since its inception in 1974, Hartlepool has been a Labour hold. It's been a Labour stronghold.
Wow.
And for the first time ever, it's going to be Conservative.
That's saying something.
The Tories have a 17% lead right now.
But see, now this is the worrying thing, right? So obviously people were getting disillusioned with Labour when, Jezza Corbyn was running things.
Oh, sorry. Just to interrupt you there.
Come on.
Poor economic news. Janet Yellen, the U.S. Secretary of Treasury and Chief of U.S. Monetary Policy, has said that interest rates may have to rise to keep the U.S. economy from overheating. And that exacerbated a sell-off in tech stocks. Well, looks like I'm going to be reorganizing my shares later this evening. But sorry, Tom, back to Hartlepool. We'll get back to this later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the next bit. But no, basically what I was just saying is that, like, when Corbyn was running things...
Oh my goodness, what a terrible Labour leader.
Yeah, I know.
What an absolutely tragic leader.
Well, and now...
No offence to the guy. I have nothing against his character, but just he wasn't a leader.
Well, I had an offence the way he spoke to my mum. He was an absolute...
What?
Douche. Oh, yeah, my mum had to deal with him.
Oh, we apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen.
For that word?
Yes.
That's not swearing.
No, it is.
It's a cleaning product.
Okay, right. We can take it in this. But yeah, sorry, what was Jeremy Corbyn?
All right, he was a Muppet. How about that?
All right, that's better. All right, we'll keep it nice and clean here.
Funny enough, that's actually what that other thing does.
Thanks,
there
Tom.
you go. So basically, so my mum used to work. My mum used to work for Highbury and Islington Council. So she worked for Home Care. And because Jeremy Corbyn is, I believe, still the local MP for Highbury and Islington, he, they'd always have to come back and they'll get a sniff of something, like someone will campaign to the MP. And then it's, well, there's nothing ever. Yeah, well, this person has been actually very rude and very abusive to our members of staff. We have refused to go there under these grounds until these conditions are met, and that could be X, Y, and Z, or that there's multiple people, it's a joint visit, or anything like that. No, this is not good enough. They must be going there. And basically, he would effectively tell people, tell my mum, to flout these safeguarding rules so that this one person could get seen to, like, for example. And he would just speak to my mum in such a terrible, derogatory manner. Because this was before email and everything. This was back when it was either letters or direct phone calls. And she just said he was not a nice bloke and just hated every time that she had to have contact with him. And so...
Do you know what? I've heard rumours that in cabinet meetings, everyone was just sort of like, oh, yeah, Jeremy, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
And like nobody ever would speak up. And,
yeah, but that is... But in fairness, when I worked for Barking and Dagenham, that was the same with the MP there. I think his name's Darren Rothwell. I mean, he was all right, but then you have some of the councillors. I remember there was one councillor who was dying. I can't remember his name, but he was really not a nice person. And if you said no to him or you couldn't get someone there in 15 minutes, I mean, I think he basically thought we were working for a pizza shop, and it was kind of 15 minutes where your next order's free. We'd say, well, unfortunately, we've got X, Y, and Z here. And he'd go, I don't care. Cancel all the jobs for one engineer and send them to me. I said, these are your constituents. Do you really want that to get out, that you're cancelling all your jobs? And I don't care what these people think. It's like, paying your wages, mate. Maybe you should do.
Yeah, that's the difference between how we view our government and how other countries view their government.
Yeah.
We see them as public servants and people who you talk, you listen to us.
Yeah.
As other people are like, oh no, you're our politicians. Like, oh
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah, but anyway, I was just gonna say, so yeah, with Corbyn, he didn't really. I don't think he lost that many seats when he was the leader of the Labour Party. I might be wrong.
Tom.
We lost the general election, obviously.
No, but he lost the Labour Party like good 60 seats.
Oh, I tell
65 seats.
Oh, well, this is
he got the Labour Party the worst general election result since 1935.
Okay, I might just have to just
yeah.
Just
no. It's fine. He lost the Labour Party loads of seats. He was an electoral disaster.
Yeah, but I just think that couldn't care less Starmer is kind of following suit almost.
No, do you know what? I think I've been thinking about this, right? And I actually do agree with some of the things he's saying. He says, my job is to get the Labour Party ready and back into government in 2024, right? And I'm thinking, do you know what? The man is right. He can't do it in a year. There's been a pandemic. What happens in a pandemic or in a national crisis? Everyone rallies around the government like, oh yeah, well, like we don't like them, but they're just doing their jobs, and like I suppose they're dealing with the circumstances, and there's all those excuses. But
he's more concerned about what drapes Boris has put up in his flat at the minute than as opposed to how he's trying to unite a party. And it's get your priorities sorted, Keir,
Well, no, but do you know what? I think Keir Starmer has to sort of. He's not had the chance, because the way politicians get to vote is not when they're on the TV. It's not what they say in the newspapers. It's meeting and talking to people and getting out there and canvassing. And that is why you've seen Boris Johnson up in Hartlepool. You've seen Keir Starmer going to Manchester, Birmingham, everywhere. He's been all over the place. He's been meeting voters, right? Yeah. And that has been his goal. And I think
thrown out of pubs.
Yeah, being thrown out of pubs. But I think he handled that brilliantly well, by the way. But I understand, like, sometimes, on policy, I think I agree with you. Is a bit couldn't care less, right?
Yeah.
But I think that he's completely right, and I don't think he'll win this election. I don't think that says anything about him as a person. I think the government just has a big advantage. The SNP in Scotland have had a big bump in the polls because they've had a big bump in the polls because Nicola Sturgeon has been on TV every night. Right? Saying, oh, look what we're doing, this is what Scotland's doing, blah, 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 blah. People like it. People tend to see more favorably to someone who's leading them through a crisis, albeit doing it, maybe not the best in the world.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
doing the best with the tools and the resources that they have.
Exactly. And I think that will give anyone running for the Conservative Party a poll bump at the minute, because they're the ones in charge. Right? There wasn't some sort of, coalition, like there was in World War II, where it was sort of like, oh, well, there's not really any politics going on at the minute. This is purely the Boris Johnson's on the TV every day. Government ministers are on the TV every day, giving us a briefing. People naturally gravitate towards them.
Yeah.
And I think, personally, Keir Starmer's spot on being a supporter of John Lewis. Did you not think that was quite classy?
I'll be honest, I missed that.
Basically, you're right. I'll explain it. Boris Johnson supposedly spent something like £200 a roll on wallpaper.
What?
Yes, for this new Downing Street apartment, right?
Mike Ashley must be in love with him.
I know. So Keir Starmer went to John Lewis, and there's a brilliant photo of him looking at lots of different rolls of wallpaper. And when asked about it, it's like, oh, you're playing politics. No. I'm just a great supporter of John Lewis. I think they're brilliant. I think they're a brilliant department store. I just think, you admit that's quite good?
I mean, all right, that's kind of playing the media at the game, I guess.
I like that. I really, really like that. I thought this is classy.
Yeah.
This isn't, and it's been a brilliant week. It's been a brilliant couple of weeks watching
but there's also the other.
See, this is why I think he's brilliant. I really would like him to see. I'd love to see him as Prime Minister.
Well, there's the other thing as well that I think was quite funny. There's the rumor, because obviously the Strictly rumours start coming out now, and there's the rumor that Carrie could be going into Strictly.
Oh no!
No,
we don't need
but
this.
This was the thing.
More of the Johnson dynasty.
Well, this would be it'd probably be his dad Stanley. He'd probably go in there next, but. They actually had
anything for a bit of money,
him and Toff, because him and Toff get on really well. Well, she's part of a government think tank, apparently, isn't she? Old Georgia Toffolo. But apparently they asked Shirley Ballas on This Morning State, are the rumours true? Is Carrie going to be on there? And she went, absolutely not. She said, because it's a family show, not a political show. There is no point. We had Anne Widdecombe on there. We had Ed Balls on there when they were retired MPs. That way, they can't get political. All right, Anne Widdecombe's kind of back now because I believe she was part of the Brexit Party, wasn't she? But they've gone off and now forged their own sort of media careers, and they do pantomimes and speaking engagements and stuff. So they're kind of out of it. So it's okay to have them on. Whereas I think, even though she is the Prime Minister's fiance, it still could get a little bit political. And the fact that, they'll go, oh, well, Carrie's been booted out in week 1. Oh, well, that's because, it was a bunch of Labour voters who voted. It's like, come on, it's pathetic. But I think just leave it. Like, don't let her on, but just like, there's no need to have her on. I'm sure they've got enough people who are lining up to sort of, fall victim to the Strictly curse and try and get together with their partners or something like that. So just let them crack on with it. But so anyway, I love that we've somehow gone from the mayoral elections to Keir Starmer now to Strictly Come Dancing. This is why you need to watch our show.
This is what happens in British politics, though. It is a revolving door at some point. It's like Great British Bake Off. You got Jess Phillips who's won it recently. This is what happens with. It's just like that, isn't it? It is just like that.
Like Noel Fielding. Oh, hello. You're a Labour MP. Oh, does that mean you got the soggy bottom there? Oh, is that just in the election? What's it sound like Ricky Gervais for?
Do you know what I found? There was a spitting image sketch from the 1980s or 90s, and it was a sketch on Labour. It's like, okay, now we're here. We've got to get into government. What's that? How is it still so relevant now?
It's true. It's just like, but this was the thing. It's like not much. I said something a couple of years ago. I can't remember what it was. It was something along. I think it was something on Facebook years ago. It was something along the lines of there are riots over the Tory government or something like that.
Yep.
Rolling blackouts and the Crystal Maze was back on the telly. My God, have I gone back in time to the 1980s? And it's true. It was like it was.
Do you know what though? I think what's most interesting about what will be these local elections is I'm expecting a Conservative bump.
Yeah.
Right. I think in my local area where there's been lots of campaigning, I have got stuck in. It is the Loughton Residents Association will also get a bump.
Yeah.
Everyone says they're a bit of a strange bunch because they're all like Labour, Conservative, etc. But they're just doing it for Loughton.
But that's what you want, though. Is you want a group like that where it's kind of a mix of different.
They don't
things,
really do the best job in the world, but I'll just stay away from that. We just won't talk about that. Anyway, sorry. But I think probably what's going to be quite interesting, mate, is what will happen to Keir Starmer, because there's lots of articles saying there's growing pressure on him. Saying that he should resign if they lose a by-election or something like that. And I'm just thinking, hold on a minute. You know, he does poll well. The only reason he is not polling higher than the Tories is, why on earth would you want to poll really highly 4 years away from a general election?
Yeah.
The only place you can go from that point is down.
Yeah.
You know, he is only polled up. He is only polled up. And it's only recently, over the last couple of months, while the government has been doing a really good job with the vaccine rollout, you know, they've been doing a good job with support, lockdowns, etc.
We were caning the government. Well, I mean, we cane the government every week.
We do it every week, but
start of the
they've
pandemic,
they've done it right.
Yeah.
And I think everyone feels the same way,
They've got the hang
and
of
people are choosing to ignore that.
Yeah,
because people are choosing to ignore the bad things or the Tory sleaze or the corruption,
Yeah.
because corruption happens with every government, I think.
Yep.
And secondly, I think it's important to note about, you know, they're on the TV every day.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like the fact that and this is going to be a very weird sports analogy, but I'm full of these weird analogies, right? So bear with me. So, for example, Sir Clive Woodward, right, who used to be the boss of England, the England rugby team, right, England rugby union team.
Yeah.
When he got the team, he was tasked by the RFU to get England into a shape where they could basically perform and potentially win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right. So he was a businessman. He got in all the equipment, all the trainers. He got the whole rugby pyramid scheme, not as in pyramids in dodgy, but like the whole tier system, to a level where we could produce top players, and we had the best equipment and the best teams in the world to then pick from for the England squad. What happened? They then go on and win the World Cup in 2003. Honda, for example, as well, in Formula One, they don't go, and this goes back to like the whole Keir Starmer thing. So this is what I think Keir Starmer needs to do. This is where I'm going to go with Clive Woodward, right? And then to Honda. So Honda have the Honda way of doing things. So where it's a case of, you've got Fernando Alonso shouting, "Oh, it's a GP2 engine, terrible. Fix this, and this." Japanese engineers go, okay. And then they go off and go fix something completely different that doesn't need to be fixed. The Honda engines in Formula One, when they came back, were terrible. Absolutely useless. They kept breaking down. They were really slow, down on power. Now, all of a sudden, they're fighting with Mercedes for the World Championship this year, the year they're leaving. And they've now got the base set up so well that Red Bull has now bought the engines, has started their own company, and will be using those engines as Red Bull engines going forward. So this is what I think that's what Starmer needs to do. He needs to get the Labour Party into a position, into a bit where they are ready to go, not for this general election, but for the next 5 years. So then they can go, right, okay, we're going to write off this election, but we're going to start laying the groundwork, laying the foundations, a la Clive Woodward, a la Honda. Get everything together, and then, right, the next 5 years, we're going to hit them hard. So in the following general election, we are ready. And then it's going to be, that's what he needs to do.
But I think he wants to be Prime Minister, though.
Yeah, he does. But I think
it's not like, he's just a transition man. He is geared up to be PM. He is geared up to put in legislation. But do you know what he needs? The reason I think his biggest problem is he doesn't have a manifesto. I don't know what does Keir Starmer stand for. We don't know.
Yeah.
And I think what we also don't know is what ads are going to be coming next. So please do stay tuned, because me and Tom will be right back after this.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no-obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
The Career Link project is a free employment and careers service aimed at supporting young BAME women to navigate a path towards a successful future. If you're 16 or over and currently out of work, you could receive up to 10 months of personalised one-on-one career support and skills-based training to help you secure your future. Get in touch with us today on 07862 035 511 or email us at clp@tffn.co.uk. The Career Link project, your future in your hands.
ये आयशा है। ये बहुत छोटी सी थी जब इसके वालिद का एक हादसे में इंतकाल हो गया। वो अपनी माँ और छोटे बहन भाइयों के साथ रहती है। आयशा जैसी लाखों बच्चियां जिंदगी की बुनियादी सहूलतों से बिल्कुल महरूम है। यही वजह है कि वो स्कूल भी नहीं जा सकती। मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन ने आपकी एहतियात और अपनी खिदमत दुनिया भर के यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों के लिए वक्फ कर दी है। एक यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चे का सहारा बनिए। आज ही अतिया कीजिए।
अभी कॉल मिला 0300 3030 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 521 0000 and take advantage of our huge Ramadan offers. Waris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats.
Nitro Treats, the dessert lab where your treats are formulated before your very eyes. Keep cool with our flavoured shaved ice or chill out with our exclusive Dragon Breath Nitro ice creams. Experiment with our selection of mojitos or indulge in our traditional faludas or lassies. Visit Nitro Treats at 210 Ilford Lane where our nitrologists remain ready to serve. Nitro Treats, it's nitrolicious.
Everyone can now get free rapid COVID-19 tests twice a week. They show your results within 30 minutes. They also show you're doing what you can to protect your loved ones, your friends, your workmates, and that you want to keep life moving again. Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be a friend, a relative, a workmate. It could even be you. Rapid tests are easy to get from nhs.uk/get tested. Let's take this next step safely.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello, hello. You're listening to Revive FM. My name is Henry Scott. And I'm here in the studio with my wonderful co-host,
Tom Hutchinson.
And welcome.
Hello. You are welcome to it.
You're being welcome to the Scott and Hutch show. I'm Scott and he's
Hutch.
and this is Scott and Hutch. All right, let's get down to business.
Yes.
All right, Tom, you apparently have a story about a man who moved who did a Belgium invasion. Or was it invasion of France?
Yeah, technically, yeah. There was actually an invasion. It went under the radar because it was only 7.5 feet, but
Obviously.
still, So yeah, a farmer in Belgium.
It's like those blokes who move signs.
Exactly, but they spin around the wrong way. Next thing you know, the whole town's moved. A farmer in Belgium has caused a stir after inadvertently redrawing the country's border with France. Sacre bleu! I can already hear the words "revolution" beginning to start. A local history enthusiast was walking in the forest when he noticed that a stone marking the boundary between the two countries had moved 2.29 meters, or if you're in Church of England, it's 7.5 feet. The Belgian farmer, apparently annoyed by the stone, which was always in his tractor's path, had moved it inside of the French territory. And instead of causing an international uproar, the incident, for 7.5 feet, all right.
Mate,
wars have been fought over this.
that's a declaration of war, that is.
Well, come on then. Come over here then. Come break the 2 meter rule. And I will...
Oh, no. I wouldn't dare.
Especially with cameras. But yes, instead of causing an international uproar, the incident has been met with smiles on both sides of the border. So the quote
they're just like, do you want to just, France is just like, so we can just leave it there. And Belgium's like, very funny.
Yes, very good.
Very, very funny. France is like, but we could just leave it there.
Yeah. And then, that's it. Belgium's just sort of going, it's like, oh, yes, but, Belgium is now bigger. It is fine because Belgium has invaded France. We have gained 7.5 feet on those French people. But yeah, so the quote is, he made Belgium bigger and France smaller. He said, it's not a good idea. David Laveau, who's the mayor of the Belgian village of, I'm probably going to butcher this, but Ekrelens, I believe, has told French TV channel TF1. He said, that sort of move caused a headache between private landowners, he pointed out, let alone neighboring states. The border between France and what is now Belgium stretches 390 miles, and it was formally established on the Treaty of Kortrijk, signed in 1820 after Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo 5 years earlier. So basically, a Belgian farmer has broken an international treaty which has stood for the thick end of 101 years.
Well,
201
Do you know what's brilliant is that basically there's this brilliant French comedian called Danny Boone. He's hilarious, right? And he did this brilliant film in 2010 called Nothing to Declare.
Yeah.
And it is about tensions between the Belgium and French border in the start of the 90s.
Should have watched that. Should have shown
that. It is hilarious. And I just recommend that everyone watch it because it's brilliant. But I mean, in terms of just it's a very funny story about how the French and Belgian people are very irritated. So he starts moving the border. One of the Belgian customs officers gets the sign and he goes, every day I move the Belgian border and I make it so that Belgium is bigger. I have moved the border by 76 feet.
Well, do you know what?
In the last year.
Well, the funny thing is, right, so the mayor of Belgium is quite happy. He says, I was happy because my town was bigger. The Belgian mayor said with a laugh, but the mayor of my French is terrible. Beaugenay-sur-Roc didn't agree. He said, quote, we should be able to avoid a new border war. The amused mayor of the neighbouring French village told La Vue du Nord. And it's
you'd hope so.
I mean, for 7.5 feet, I mean, come on, mate. Just the fact it's the guy's just moved it as the actual border itself is not defined by a rock. Like, that's the thing. Has nobody told this French mayor? I mean, he's probably looking at it as a declaration of war between him and Belgium. That's all we need now. During the pandemic, when everyone needs to come together, there's going to be a war fought over 7.5 feet of a stone.
I can't wait
moved.
for a war between Belgium and France.
I mean,
it'll be like Europe in the good old days.
Yeah, but in fairness,
when we all just tore each other apart.
Well, how did Jeremy Clarkson say it? It was Belgium, a country for England and Germany to sort out their differences. That was it. Yeah, a country created. England and Germany had somewhere to settle their differences.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, I mean, God, imagine if the Monegasque get in there bleeding now. That'd be fun. It's like, okay, well, you've taken 7.5 feet of us. Well, we're going to have to go into Monaco. It's like, you can't give us 7.5 feet, mate. The whole principality is only 7.5 feet wide. Just Prince Albert going, no, please don't take any more of my land. I haven't got any more left. I'll have another baby. There you go.
I love it. Back to the good old days when countries were ruled by kings and queens and diplomacy was done through marriages.
Exactly, as opposed to nowadays where it's done by French farmers with a tractor moving a stone 7 foot.
Exactly. Anyway, I think it is time to move on to our favourite segment of the show.
Yes.
Do you have a feeling?
I have a last time I had a feeling, but they did say it's okay. Just take the ointment and it will clear up.
Okay, right. Well, we're going to gloss over that and we're going to... it's time for Random Acts of Kindness.
If you're feeling down,
I really should redo this, to be
honest. If you're feeling blue, time to put on your shoes. Don't feel so sad or kind of bad because it's Random Acts of Kindness.
Just needs a bit nearer the mic.
Yeah, I don't know. I really want to maybe redo that at some point. Anyway, Tom.
Yes.
Any random acts of kindness? Maybe you did something nice this week.
I'm trying to think, really. Actually, no, I'll tell you what, I did do one yesterday. I mean, and again, the only reason we say this is because we encourage you every week to let us know on our socials.
And then comment, like, and subscribe on our Facebook.
Exactly, yes, which is Revive FM UK. So, we're not doing this for our own self-gratitude. We are doing this because we want you to we are encouraging you to contact us with your random acts of kindness that you've either received or you've done this week. Something that gives you that nice warm fuzzy feeling inside, just like this fuzzy microphone muff. But thank God I said the word microphone in the middle of that as I started giggling.
All right, Tom.
So actually I did have something yesterday. So I went up to when I was having my deliveries coming in, I quickly ran out to go get a bit of lunch, and I was just going at a set of traffic lights, and I saw this guy come along with a silver Mercedes van. I was like, he's got heavy load in the back. His truck's really low at the back there. When I looked, he had a tyre flatter than it was sort of round and then just straight. And it somehow got a puncture and it was like brand new. He said he only had it a couple of days. So I had to I had to run round and sort of like leg it back, and I'm trying to wave him down, and he's still going about 30, 35. So I'm doing my best Usain Bolt, and I try to stop, and eventually he stops. I went, mate, stop! You've got a puncher on the back. And he went, oh, you're joking. I went, no, like really, you have. And he went, is it bad? I went, it's flat, mate. Like it's not going to go. So he pulled up, and I didn't think anything more of it, and he didn't say anything. And I walked on. I went to go get a bit of lunch, and as I was coming back, I saw him by the side of the road, and he was pumping his tire up, and he said, like, oh, thanks for letting us know, because I didn't notice. Like as he was driving, it felt absolutely normal. So
obviously maybe his truck's loaded up, was it?
Probably, yeah. So that might have also been doing it. But yeah, he was going to try and sort of get down. I think he lived a couple of streets away, but he was going to try and make it back. But I said, you know what, mate? I just had this image of you doing 60 miles an hour, because there's a bit that they call the straight mile, which is just
I think I know the bit you're on.
Just before the secret nuclear bunker, which is
the sign
outside saying
Kelvin. Oh, by the way, give that a visit, everyone. It's a really cool.
The secret nuclear bunker?
Yeah, Kelvin Hatch nuclear bunker. Very cool.
There you go. It's a secret. I just had this image of him doing 60 miles an hour, and the tire was going to explode, and I just thought I couldn't have that on my conscience. That's why I thought I'll just run back. And luckily, he said he was only turning off 2 streets away. But yeah, that's kind of my random act of kindness. So what about you, Mr. Scott?
Well,
he's doing the hands. He's doing the
I got on the train today, and there was a blind man that sat down opposite me, and I could tell he was blind because he had the stick, and somebody had actually helped him onto the train. So I said so he's sitting there across from me, and I said, "Oh, listen, mate, where are you getting off? I can help you off the train if you like." And he says, "Oh, thank you so much. I'm getting off at Stratford." So even though I wasn't getting off at Stratford, I was getting off at Liverpool Street. Just hopped off, helped him off the train. Thankfully, the train was there for a bit longer.
Good man.
Thanks so much. So that was my random act of kindness this week. But also, I think something I'd love to talk about, and probably I'm going to go in a rant about. Right? So when you're driving a car, right?
Yeah, I am familiar with it. Yeah.
When we were learning to drive vehicles, we were given these brilliant things called indicators.
Oh, they're such an invention.
They're just, I think,
the way they tick and
indicators are revolutionary. My random act of kindness, and I do this every time.
Underrated as a driver aid.
I think as a driver aid, indicators are very underrated because for some reason, Tom, nobody seems to use them.
Yeah,
I find that rather strange.
Have you noticed though? It seems to be today that it's actually a lot worse. Do you know why?
Oh, why?
Because it's Star Wars Day and people are trying to use the Force more. That's
they're sort of getting in touch.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see why that might be.
Especially people called Luke. Use the Force, Luke.
Well, listen. Here's the thing, though, right?
Sorry.
Can I just say to everyone driving and listening in your car right now, it would be very nice, just occasionally, if you use your indicators like you're legally required to do.
Yes.
And give people ample and fair warning when you're going to make a turn.
And here's the other thing.
For goodness sake.
And here's the other little bit, if I can sort of jump on the back of this. Here's the other thing, right? Don't make the maneuver and then halfway through, then think,
oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to indicate.
Yeah, like, you're crossing a lane.
Goodness sake.
You're crossing a lane. 3/4 of your car has crossed the paint. Okay? And then you think, oh, I know. I better just put that. There we go. Just to go the last quarter away. You've already done it! Just remember, mirror signal maneuver.
I think a few people need to go back to driving lessons, if I'm honest.
Oh, it's going to be like, what was that woman's name? Margaret.
It doesn't really infuriate me. So there's another act of kindness from me is I actually indicate when I drive. And also, I do actually, I think, okay, how can I be nicer this week? And I let people out who are at junctions who if you're at that junction, you're waiting a long time for.
Yeah.
So if it's no trouble, just let them out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really not, I love getting let out of a junction. If someone says, oh, go. I'm like, oh, you know what? You have a good day today.
I'll be honest though.
You have a good day.
It is dependent on the car though, because if it's a real flash car, I don't know about you, I just don't feel inclined to let them out.
Oh, no. But
if it's like a Lamborghini.
My grandma, right? She's a very wealthy woman. She owns a Ferrari, which is
of course she does.
Very, very nice car. A Super America. It's very
like the new California.
No, maybe. It's just Ferrari Super America. It's like 2003.
Oh.
It's vintage.
It's good. You think 2003 is vintage?
Well, in Ferrari terms, it's a vintage car. You can't get it. It's limited edition. You can't get it anymore. But anyway, and it's right hand. We drive on
the right.
Yeah, it's right hand drive.
Yeah,
so
we've been doing it for the last couple of years.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Just needs to be sure there. Just needs to be sure. We're just going to gloss over that. But either way, well, she's taken me for a drive out in a couple of times. Very, very fun because it just sounds like a racing car. It's cool. And you know what? People always tend to let her out.
I know what it is. Yeah, it's a 575.
Yes, that's it.
Very nice.
A very nice car. But listen, seriously, people, we love to know your random acts of kindness, or maybe something nice happened to you. So please do let us know, calling in on 0333 444 0940. That's 0333 444 0940. Right, we'd love to stay and chat for a little bit longer, but it's time for me and Tom to take a little bit of an ad break.
We're going to pull into the sidings, but also before that, we're going to indicate before we pull into the sidings of
So
adverts.
while I indicate with my right hand that I'm going to move across the studio, as you can see on our live stream, if you're watching, to indicate, because that's something that we should do. Thank you, Tom, for making the clicking noises. That's something we should do when we're driving a car. It's a nice random act of kindness to all the other drivers on the road. Then please do enjoy these adverts.
Get the road!
Now we're gradually coming out of lockdown. We can finally meet up again outside. But we want to do more than just meet up, don't we? Would a quick hug do any harm? Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be a friend, a relative. It could even be you. It's hard, but don't get too close. Let's take this next step safely. Remember, hands, face, space, and fresh air.
Did you know that girls like Noura walk an average of 3 miles every day in search of clean water to support their families? Minhaj Welfare Foundation believes you can end the water crisis by building small and large-scale water projects. Your charity is helping improve the lives of communities living in the poorest regions of the world. However, more needs to be done. Support Water for All. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 3030 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Everyone can now get free rapid COVID-19 tests twice a week. They show your results within 30 minutes. They also show you're doing what you can to protect your loved ones, your friends, your workmates, and that you want to keep life moving again. Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be a friend, a relative, a workmate. It could even be you. Rapid tests are easy to get from nhs.uk/get tested. Let's take this next step safely.
Let's connect with the Holy Quran. Minhaj Dawah Project distributes the Holy Quran in plain simple English for free. You can donate £3 and sponsor a Quran to a loved one, a neighbour, a colleague or a friend. We distribute Qurans totally free of charge across the whole UK, including in prisons. Please call us now to contribute on 0300 030 1951 or email us on dawah@minhajuk.org. Let's connect with the Holy Quran. Minhaj Dawah Project distributes the Holy Quran in plain simple English for free. You can donate £3 and sponsor a Quran to a loved one, a neighbour, a colleague or a friend. We distribute Qurans totally free of charge across the whole UK, including in prisons. Please call us now to contribute on 0300 030 1951 or email us on dawah@minhajuk.org.
The Career Link Project is a free employment and career service aimed at supporting young BAME women to navigate a path towards a successful future. If you're 16 or over and currently out of work, you could receive up to 10 months of personalised one-on-one career support and skill-based training to help you secure your future. Get in touch with us today on 07862 035 511 or email us at clp@tffn.co.uk. The Career Link Project, your future in your hands.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello, you're listening to Revive FM. My name is Henry Scott, and in the studio is my wonderful co-host,
Tom Hutchinson.
I'm Scott and
Hutch.
and this is Scott and Hutch. Now, Tom, of course, Naturally, today it's May the 4th.
It is.
So I thought I would make a little quiz for you.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
And obviously to get ourselves in the the mood.
Oh, he's made my day. You're so making me so happy, and I'm just really annoyed a bunch of Star Wars fans.
We got a little
the Cantina Band.
I would have this on for the next 10 minutes. Everyone go mad. All right, Tom. How well do you think you know your Star Wars?
I've been watching it since I was 4, so it'd be 30 years this year. I've been watching Star Wars.
All right,
so I'm hoping I'll be all right with this.
Okay, so who are the only 2 characters who appear in every single Star Wars movie?
Oh, that is going to be C-3PO and R2-D2, I believe.
Well, congratulations, sir. That is correct.
Yes!
That's 1 point to Tom. All right. Who played Princess Leia? Pretty easy question.
That would be the late, great. The lady whose quote on her epitaph was going to be, what was it? Drowned in moonlight, strangled by my own bra. That is the great Carrie Fisher.
All right. Who created Star Wars?
George Lucas.
Well done. In what year was the original Star Wars film first released?
Oh, now that is going to be 1977, I believe.
Well done, sir.
I can feel my inner geek coming out.
You're really you're showing your true colours here. Which furry species lived in the forest moon of Endor?
That would be the Ewoks.
Congratulations.
And also, do you know Wicket, who's the little the one with the brown sort of hood on? Do you know who that is?
No.
That is a young Warwick Davis from Tenable and from.
Okay, I think you're going to know the answer to this next question. And how old was Yoda when he died?
900 he was.
Oh my goodness! What is this guy, guys? Seriously?
I didn't get out much of the chance.
Which movie is the one where Luke finds out that Vader is his father?
I mean, spoilers, just in case you haven't seen it. Some people haven't. That would be my personal favorite of all of them, The Empire Strikes Back.
Well done. What species is Jabba the Hutt?
He is...
Kind
Oh, right. Well, he is a Hutt.
Well done.
I was going to go, he's a now Hutt. I was like, no, hang on, that's their home world.
Who originally played Han Solo?
Now this I might not know. Well, it's only been Harrison Ford.
Yes, well done.
There you go.
It's a trick question. It's very cheeky. Okay. Who composed the iconic Star Wars theme?
The legend, the living legend, who's now enjoying a very happy retirement, John Williams.
Well done. And do you know, fun fact about John Williams? Let's just finish our music here. Fun fact about John Williams, right? Fun fact about John Williams, actually, he has never watched a Star Wars film.
Has he not?
Nope, never seen them. Never had a desire to.
Doesn't know what he's missing. Do you know, it must be awkward though, because obviously you're then watching back, you're listening back to your own music. So I can imagine you just be nitpicking, going, "Do you know what? I could have had it done there. I could have just tweaked it there. I could have done that there." But that's probably why he's never not watched it.
Here we go. Who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequel trilogy?
In the prequel trilogy, well, that would be the man who's going to play it in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus coming soon. Ewan McGregor.
You're not working for Disney Plus, are you, Tom?
Oh, why would you say that? No.
All right. Okay.
This isn't the radio presenter you're looking for.
Okay. Last question. Last question. Darth Vader's chest piece has some writing on it. What language is it in, and what does it translate to?
I would imagine it's going to be what they call Galactic Basic, which is the little symbols they use. I've got no idea what it says. I'm guessing it's either going to be something Sith or it's going to be something along the lines of like for emergencies, pull here or something. I don't know.
No. You'll like this. It's ancient Hebrew.
Is it really?
And it translates to his deeds will not be forgiven until he merits.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I was so close. I thought I'm going to get a full house.
I do want to ask one more question.
Go on then.
What famous person played a minor role in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
Well, I know E.T.'s in it.
But what famous person?
What famous person
played a really minor role in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
Really minor. Not Steven Spielberg, was it?
Would you like a hint?
Go on then.
She's very attractive. And she's
Keira Knightley.
Well, there
yes,
you go.
It wasn't a minor role. She actually had quite a big role. She was the royal bodyguard for the whole time. She was the stunt double in the in the full outfits. And then Natalie Portman's in the background.
Another question for you. Sorry, I know we said the last one. This one's the last one, right? Who was Chewbacca's father?
Oh,
what's his name, Tom?
Oh, I ain't going to know this
Come
one.
on, where's your geek?
I don't think I'm going to know this one. I'm trying to think of the one that's in episode 3.
Would you like a clue?
Go on then. What? Scratchy?
No.
Itchy.
Yeah, there you go.
It's called Itchy.
It's called Itchy. I didn't know that either.
Itchy and Chewy.
Anyway, I think personally pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. May the 4th stuff.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Anyway, me and Tom's show is coming to a sad end.
I know.
We would like to inform you that we will be back next Tuesday.
Oh yes.
At the same time, in the same place on 94.0 FM.
Yeah, and we would love you to get in touch with us next week. Well, during the week on Facebook, on YouTube. Random Acts of Kindness.
On
Anything you
Instagram.
want to talk about on Instagram as well. So I am at official Tommy H. You are at Henry
VJ
Scott. So get in touch. Anything you want to discuss on next week's show, let us know. That's what
Seriously,
we're here.
we'd
Otherwise,
love
we're just two blokes talking into some, microphones for 2 hours.
We'd love to hear from you guys. Like seriously, we if there's something you'd like us to talk about, something you'd love to get, maybe you want to come on the show as a guest.
Yeah,
we'd love to have you on. Call up. Seriously,
Yeah, we would love. Yeah, honestly,
we'd love to hear from you.
and we're going to be talking about obviously the mayoral election and everything next week as well. So
The results
of
should be
it.
very interesting because a last quick thing before we finish is that Nico Omilano is now polling at 5% and has actually taken away Sadiq Khan from winning an outright majority.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was
Wow.
forecasted that Sadiq Khan would win in the first round, but it
And
turns
this-
out he'll have to go to second preference votes.
Now, is that one of the YouTubers?
Yeah, Nico.
Oh, God. Hang on, that's not the one. No, that's not the one. No, that's Max Fosh, isn't it? The one who's trying to beat Lawrence Fox.
which is he's not going to.
I mean, that's £10,000 worth. I mean, that £10,000 could have gone to.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Could have gone to feeding people in the third world that £10,000 fee that they have to stamp up for that. And
Well, what are you going to do, man?
I mean, just
Too late. Money gone.
He had one job.
Money to the Electoral Commission.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Me and Tom will be back next week on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Please do get in touch with us. As we said, we've loved talking to you and we hope you keep it locked on 94.0 because we love Revive FM and Revive FM does a great job. And good night.
And, because I've always wanted to say this, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, everyone. Please, we'll see you next time. My co-host Tom is very enthused. Maybe watch a Star Wars film tonight.
Oh, I will be. Episode 1.
It'll be put Tom in his good spirits.
Oh, yes.
All right. Do stay tuned as there'll be other shows after us, but we'll see you next Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Did you know that girls like Noura walk an average of 3 miles every day in search of clean water to support